In this video, we are going to see how to install MongoDB on your local machine. For that, you go on mongodb.com, you select resources, then server documentation. From there, you go on the installation navigation link, and for your local installation on your machine, the version you want is the MongoDB Community Edition. So let's select that. And then depending on your operating system, you select the relevant option here. For me, it's macOS. On macOS, you need to make sure that you have Xcode installed, and you will also need brew to install MongoDB. So to check if Xcode is installed correctly, let's copy this command and go on a terminal. So in the terminal, you just paste the command and run it. I already have it installed, so that's why it's throwing an error, but if you don't have it, it should install it. Then going back on the documentation, let's install brew. So you go on the brew website and you copy this command line here under install on brew. You go in your terminal, you paste the command, you enter your password, and then you press enter again, and you should have brew installed. Now that we have brew installed, we can download the MongoDB formula using brew tap MongoDB brew. Copy the command, go to the terminal, paste. I already had it installed, so that's why it went pretty quickly. Then you can run brew update to update the formula to make sure they are all up to date. Brew update. So it was already up to date for me. So now we can actually run the command to install MongoDB. By the way, if you want to install a previous version, you just have to change the version number here. For example, you can put version 6 if that's what you want to install. But for this tutorial, we are going to install the latest version as I'm recording this, which is version 7. And that's it. Now we have MongoDB installed locally on our Mac. In order to make sure that we can actually start a server locally, let's go back to the documentation, and we have two options for that. We can use brew to run our MongoDB, or we can run it manually using MongoD. Just make sure if you are using MongoD to put the correct path here depending on the type of Mac you have. So if you are on an Intel, just make sure you use the path here, and if you are on a Apple Silicon processor, you need to use this path here. So I prefer using brew, so I'm going to copy the command brew services start MongoDB version 7 and go back on the terminal, run this. So as you can see, the server has successfully started. In order to check and make sure that it's actually started and running locally, we can connect to the local server by using the command mongosh. So by default, mongosh connects to the local instance of a database running, and you can see here is pointing at a local server. And by default, it selects the test database, but you can actually, let's show what databases there is. Running the command show databases. And here I already have a database that I used before. I can also switch to that database, use my app, etc. So we can run multiple commands here in our mongosh CLI. And in other videos, I'll show you how to send queries, to add documents and make updates, etc. But for now, let's exit mongosh by using Ctrl+C twice. So now I'm out of mongosh. And what we want to do now is to stop the local server. To do that, let's refer back to the documentation again. We can run brew services stop MongoDB community version 7. So now if I run mongosh, it should fail. Yeah, it does fail because the server that was running before has now been stopped. So I can't connect to the local server anymore. You can check out this other video on MongoDB connection string to learn how to connect to remote servers and understand all about the connection string. or you can also go check out my channel for more content on MongoDB or other topics such as microservices and system design.